This is Hillibee Creek by Gamer Designs. It's 219.68 megabytes to download, and the description says, "Welcome to Hillibee Creek, pronounced Hillibee. It's in a world of its own where you're in charge of your own future. Starting a new farmer mode, you have to make the choice of being a farmer or logger to start with. With minimum equipment, you can sell off your unused equipment to buy more for your desired path. Whether you decide to become the best logger or farmer in the world, there is still plenty to do." Features: 5 self-owned fields in New Farmer, 35 total fields, numerous production setups, train circles half the map for logs and grain products. In order to sell grain from the storage silos of the train, they must be loaded onto truck and transported to sell point. Train woodyard has invisible sell point under shed, so when train passes it sells instantly. Several thousand acres of farming and logging. Custom owned cow pasture in New Farmer. Custom lumber sell point located at Sawmill. Off the map creek crossing behind South Train silo to the forestry area. Stone quarry in back centre of forestry area. It says upcoming plans: add collectibles, add more productions, add traffic, TBD. For any bug reports or feedback, please contact me on my Facebook page. Right, now we've done that, let's go and check it out. And here we are, guys. This is where you start off in all 3 modes. We are on the porch of our farmhouse. Well, I say it's our farmhouse, so I'll come back to that in a second. And this is what the map looks like. So as you can see down the bottom half, lots and lots of forestry to be had, and there's also a fair good chunk up the top as well, like so. We are actually over here. I am in New Farmer mode, so if I click on that, New Farmer mode, that is what we start off with. So we get 5 sort of plots of land. Now this plot here, this plot and this plot, they all come as one chunk. So if I click on that, it highlights all 3. That's got a value of 146,620, and what we get for that money is obviously these 5 fields, like it says in the description. We do have the farmhouse on here, but it hasn't got any sleep trigger. Now I'm thinking they might have done that so that you can start somewhere else if you want to, because there is quite a few houses dotted around the map. Some of these fields that you can buy, like up here, they come as sort of a chunk, and there's a farmhouse there as well. So I think they've sort of done that to give you the option to move on and go somewhere else or start somewhere else if you want to. We do have a silo on the farm. There is a fuel tank just there, and we've got a couple of sheds. That's pretty much it, to be fair, on the farm. The other chunk that comes with it is there. That's got our large cow pasture in. We do start off with some cows in New Farmer mode. In Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, that is not there at all, that cow pasture. It is just open land. And then we get this chunk of forestry over here. We do have some of our machines over there, which we'll go through in a second as well. So not too bad. You get a nice chunk of forestry, and you got 5 fields. Field number 1 is decent size as well. And then we also get these 2 plots of land as well. This one here is valued at 28,000 exactly. That has got a sell point on it. That is the sell all sell point. Now there is a little bit of room here. There's a fairly bit of flat sort of grass area, and there's like a yard there. Might be able to place a few things down. We'll see that as we go round. And then this chunk here, that's got a value of 26,740, and this is our sawmill, which we do actually start off owning. So obviously as a production chain, you can produce your boards, your planks. We've got the wood chip out point, and then over in this corner we've got another sell point for your logs. So we've got the lumber cell. That is purely just a sell point. It's not a production chain. That obviously is separate to the sawmill. And then we've got a large petrol tank on the map, like so. So that is our chunks of land that we get on New Farmer mode. We do have a kind of to-do list up the top, which is quite funny. It does have some nice features, some quirky features, but I'm not sure how I feel about this map right now. I think it needs sorting out, and I'll tell you why and talk you through that in a second with a few things. In terms of areas else we can buy, like I say, a lot of these come as like one chunk, but that's not too bad. You get all those fields. Yes, they are a little bit small, but they're not that bad. 115,508 for that. This plot here, 145. Again, quite a big plot, 146. Forestry areas, 106,000. 98. We've got some smaller chunks, 34,000. Got little areas like this, 12,000. Even that, 4,000. So it's quite cheap, quite reasonable, I think. And if you've got forestry areas, you're soon going to make your money easily. Now, what I will say, there is a few areas that you need to buy for things to show up. So I won't go too much detail in that now. I'm going to add some money in, and then we will be buying them up together so you can see where they are and see what you get for your money, because that's the easiest way to do it, I think. Like it says in the description, there is a train on here, and there it goes. It literally does a loop around like that along this river and then back up. There is some railroad silos, which again, like I say, you will need to buy the land for them to appear, but we will go through that. And the only sell point you can do via the train is this wood sell point up here. So like it says, you just go under and it will sell automatically. So it's not like some maps where you'll load up the train with your grains and then, you know, send it off to a sell point. It's just that wood sell point, like so. I think that's it for that talk, I believe. There is no collectibles, as it says. And like I say, the productions, we start off with the sawmill, which is a nice touch, I think. There is contracts available. And we do start off with 20 cows in our cow pasture. So we've got 10 brown Swiss and we've got 10 Holsteins. They are 18-month-olds already, so not too bad. They've only got minimum sort of water and feed, and they've only got hay and grass, so you may need to sort those out when they sort of come down a bit. No extra sell point crops or anything like that for selling. No custom calendar. Yes, so I think what we'll do is we'll go through some modded things, slot counts and everything like that. Then I'll add that money in and we'll crack on. I think it shouldn't take us too long to get round. Let's go round this way and we'll talk about the modded in things. There's not a huge amount. To be fair, most of it is base game buildings, but it's obviously some way it's been adjusted to fit onto this map. So in sheds, we have got just this hay shed here. There's a couple of these on the map. So obviously this is the base game one. Can't really see any difference between any of them. You get that sometimes though on some maps. Containers, again we've got these three. It's just the medium petrol tank, the large one, and then we've got this Karma 16. Again, I can't see any difference in them, so I'm guessing they've obviously been adjusted in some way for this map, like I've just said, repeating myself now. In productions and then factories, we do have this. Now this is different. This is our biogas plant, but it is called the biofuel production. Now this is the same sort of design as the small in-game BGA, but it will take a few extra things, as you can see scrolling across the screens. The sunflowers, wood chips, canola, potatoes, corn, which is pretty nice, and we also get diesel def off of that, as well as digestate, electric and methane, so that's pretty smart. And then we've got carpentry, again that's just the same as the in-game building. Greenhouses, we've got this guy. Again, I can't tell any difference between the two. The production cycles are exactly the same. I did have a quick look in case that was different. And then we do have under animals just that large cow pasture, which is quite huge, as you can see. If we go over to our biggest field, it is pretty much as wide as that field, so it's quite quite huge. That is it for modded in things. In landscaping, there is nothing extra in the painting textures. You've got animal mud, asphalt, concrete, dirt, forest ground, grass, gravel, rock and granite. Pretty standard, like so. That is all of that out of the way. We'll do slot counts now while we're here, I think. In new farmer mode, it is 1,201 slots, which seems a little high. But we start off with a Buer tractor. We've got a John Deere 7810 in the mediums, and then we've got a John Deere 7R290 and a large tractor. Got a nice John Deere T560 harvester. We've got the Rotner forestry machines, so we've got the tree harvester and then the transporter. We've got the Mahindra and a Lizard 1986 pickup, a Crampay half-pipe trailer, header for your harvester, Pottinger plough, Lemkin cultivator. We've got this Power Harrow that will hook up to this seeder, and then we've got a Lemkin planter. And then in forestry equipment, we've got the Kesler troweled, so you can tow it with your tractor, tree log transporter. That is it. There is one other thing on here, and it is there on all three modes. We do not own it, but it is there for us to use. We can jump in it, and we've got this Max Superliner, and then just behind it, is it going to let me click on it? Oh, it's got the Load King trailer. It's not going to let me click on it. We'll see that in a second, and I'll talk about that when we get to it as well, because obviously that is using up slot counts, but we don't actually own it. It's not in our garage, but if we come down to the vehicle overview, it is there. It's almost halfway down that list, and then the Load King trailer's third from bottom on that list. And another thing, you may see some horrible red percentage there. So some of our equipment is in dire need of repair. We've got a couple at 30% as well, so you will need to check those out as you go. I think, guys, that is pretty much it. The slot count you can reduce to 1,019 if you sell off those vehicles. There is potential to get the slot count down even lower, because obviously some of the areas that you will need to buy for greenhouses, there's a greenhouse on it, and a couple of other things to appear, you can sell some of those things off, so that obviously will reduce the slot count. But I'm only going to give you the one for selling the vehicles off, so you can get it down to 1,019 in new farm mode. Farm manager and start from scratch. You come on here, you don't start off with anything, no land or equipment. Like I say, that Mack truck and trailer is still up there. You can use that if you want. At slot count in those two modes, 1,016. So there we go. I think, are we done? Are we done talking about that? I think we are. So, like I say, this is our farmhouse. There's no sleep trigger, so you will need to place one down if you want to stay here. We do have a sort of board here with a key of the map. It's color coded, so as you can see, animal dealer. Down here we got the stone quarry, grain storage, like so. So pretty cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly add in some money. I'll bring you back in, and then we'll go through buying those plots so that you can see them on the map as well. Right, I'm back, and I'm a little bit richer. So let's check out some of these plots. First of all, if we were to buy this plot here, as you can see, all we've got showing in that plot is the rent a train option. So if we buy that now, click off that, we've now got the railroad silo and also the road silo next to it. You can access that via train or road. And also we've got one of these Karma 16s up here, which is going to hold seed and mineral feed. So that is that plot. Up here, we'll do this one. Oh, I didn't tell you the price, did I? 115,508. This one up here, 23,416. We'll buy that. Now we get the silo again, like so. And we've got the rent a train. That was there before. Over here, if we buy this plot, that is 64,860. 4 fields you get. 18's a decent size. We'll buy that. that is going to put in that large greenhouse just there. So like I say, you can sell that off. This does have a farmhouse there as well, and also a sort of garage up there, so you can sell them off to get your slot count down, or just to remove them if you don't like them there. The BGA, probably the most cheapest BGA I've ever seen. All we need to do is buy the land for that to show up. That 8,684 for a BGA. Madness. So we now own that. That will show up in our productions like so, as well as the greenhouse. So there you go. This is the biofuel production. So that will take grass, potatoes, silage, slurry manure, sugar beet cup, canola, sunflowers, corn, wood chips, and then your output is going to be digestate, diesel and diesel exhaust fluid, as well as electric and methane. So pretty cool that. What else do we have over here? If we buy that, that is going to show up our carpentry. Nice. We also had, I hope I don't miss anything. Oh yeah, now this I find a bit odd, if I'm honest. So if we come down to the prices, as you can see, we do have the GCHP grain elevator, which is going to be like one of your main sell points for all your standard crop types. You can see it's still there showing. Go on sunflowers, soybeans, it's still there. So if we tag that up and go back up to the map, I'll zoom out. Can you see anything flashing other than ourselves over here? No, because you need to buy this plot of land for 13,432 for that to show up. That is now flashing, look, because we tagged it, and there it is. So I think that's a bit odd and also a little bit naughty. And that's what I mean about some of this map. I feel like it's been released a bit too early. It seems like, I don't want to be disrespectful, but I'm trying to give you my honest opinion. And again, this is my own personal opinion. And I've said it before, I wouldn't even know where to start making a map. So hats off to all these map makers. But if the map maker's telling us in the description that they are going to be adding things in the future, I mean, fair enough. If you're going to add collectibles, that's fine. Productions, that's a little bit iffy for me. Why not add them in from the start and have them in from the start? But fair enough, let that one slip. But add in traffic, why would you not have that in from the start? I just feel like, were they in a mad rush to get this map out desperately? Because I feel personally, and I know a lot of you guys do as well, having traffic and people walking around brings the map to life. There's no traffic on here, there's no people walking around, so it is a little bit iffy for me. But like I say, there is some nice touches, features, quirky things. We do have fences and gates surrounding most of our fields. So if we go up around the back, we do have a nice river stream going across around the back of our farm. This is our silo, just here. We're cutting across all our fields. The fuel tank is round the back. Then we've got this shed from Elm Creek. Now this is the one that has the mechanic pits in there, so just there and there. So if you sell that off, it will leave 2 holes there, but I had no trouble at all filling that back in with landscaping, so you can put something else down there if you want. Got an easy shed there as well with some of our equipment, and little things like this is what I'm on about. I'm not too sure about this. I don't know if this is some sort of abandoned campsite or something, maybe. But just I quite like just little things like this. There's a little sign telling you about the fishing season, when it is, and got to have a license. And then we've got a sign, no lifeguard on duty. Little things like that I think are quite cool. Some of these trees have got these red markers on. I'm not sure why. I don't know if any of you guys know why. I thought maybe it was like literally the last ones on our boundary that we own, so I got a chainsaw, tried chopping them down, but it come up with a warning saying you could not chop this tree down. But it's literally just the ones around that edge, so a little bit random. We'll go out this way. As you can see, right outside our area we've got a few houses already, but we do not have any traffic. So we'll head on down. I'm going to show you the Karma. Oh, these trees as well, look, these guys have got them on as well. I'm not quite sure. So there's the Karma 16. I know most of you guys will know about this, but this is empty at the minute, but it will hold seed and mineral feed. You can fill it up and then collect out of there. It will only hold one or the other. You can't mix it up. We will scoot down there. There goes the train in the background. We head around this way. Apologies for the trees, but I'm going to try my best. And I'm trying to stick to some of the tracks. So like I say, there's some of the sort of, or one of the houses that's just randomly scattered around the map. Fields down the bottom. This is our first railroad silo, so you're in and outs. You've got the train side, which is in and out, pipe up there, then you tip in via the road, and then your out collect point there. And then you've got a rent to train hut over there, which is cool. Let's head on out this way again. We will cut back through that sort of housing area where we just came from, which is just up through here. And we've got the luxury of driving all across the road because there's no traffic. So already you can see loads of trees, so there's quite a lot up this area, and little things like that. I love that sign, that's cool, on a little mound of grass. So yeah, it's got some nice features. I think the lighting's good, it's bright, the colours are all as they should be. There's nothing out of place in that sort of sense. So I'm going to leave the truck just there because we can. This is our cow pasture area. Now this is another thing I find a little bit iffy, and we'll show you that in a second. So cow pasture, it is a cow pasture, so you're not going to get any slurry or manure, but that is where you can collect milk from. Your feed trough just there. Water you're going to have to give them because it's a pasture, and then your dialogue box. This will hold 25 in total. We do have 20 in there. If I come up into landscaping mode, this, look, it goes into the water. Now I'm not sure that's meant to be like that because this is technically part of the river stream system. I know it's not very deep, but when I came on here to first have a look round, I mean, they will walk through it, but just about here, one of them was laying down and they were under the water. So that cannot be good. I mean, look, he's... so I'm not sure. And we do have quite a bit of room here between the sort of perimeter fence and this fence. So why not just pull it that way a bit more, get rid of this fence. You still have enough room, I think, to access the triggers easily, and that will pull that out of that water. But that is just my opinion, like I say, just pointing these things out, guys. Right, moving on from there, literally next door, this is the plot that I bought that's got the greenhouse on. We will drive up there, it'll be a lot quicker. So we've got a nice American flag and a post box. Didn't think the gate was going to open then, it did earlier. So you've got to drive up. Obviously you will get these fields around here if you buy this plot. So you've got a farmhouse there, you can place a sleep trigger down. And again, we've got that mechanic pit shelter, so if you sell that off you will need to fill that in. And then up the back is where your greenhouse is. So all the triggers are there, but they will only appear obviously once you've bought that plot of land. Right, moving on from there, we have got to the BGA next, which is just here on our left. So like I say, all you need to do is buy this plot of land very, very cheap. And if we went up to the wrench, that is going to go straight in. I've already showed you that, which is very nice. So we are now up here. Literally came out the farm. I cut through this way, didn't I? Down here, then cut through down into the railroad silo, back up this way, did the cow pasture in there. We're now here. So we're literally going to do this and that, and then going to jump on the train here, finish on up there. And I'm going to do a little bit of a sort of flyover and show you the stone quarry. It is literally just a load of stones, which we've had on some maps before. Anyway, just here we've got a stone crusher to sell your stones, and then here is the truck and trailer. So this looks like the main shop, but it's not. This is just only got a workshop trigger here. So if we click on that, you can actually sell this trailer and truck. The truck is just slightly out of the zone. So if we back up, so as you can see, we can jump in that, we can use it, we can hook up to this. And if I stop that, and this setup is using 22 slots altogether. So, and we don't actually own it. So you can customize it as normal, you can repair it, repaint it, or you can sell it. Like so. As you can see, we didn't get any money for that. But there you go. It gets rid of it. It frees up some slots if you want. Right, we've got two fuel options. We've got this one here. We've also got this main garage just here as well. We've got a supermarket sale point, which is just round there. And then we've got the fast food restaurant sale point, which is just there. I'm going to cut across here. This is that sell all sale point. And like I say, there's the area. There's a bit of grass. It looks pretty flat, doesn't it? And sort of some sort of yard. You can sell off if you go into build mode and go into landscaping and demolish. You can sell that off, but the grill still stays there. The triggers just disappear, and obviously you're going to lose that as a sell point. So like I say, that will drop your slot count down only by 1, I think, but it's just going to ruin the sell point, to be honest with you. There is, I haven't got the help window on, but that is a sell wood icon. So you can sell wood here as well, like it says sell all, pretty much everything. I don't know whether this front one is just for wood only or it will take other things, but we do have another grill round the back just here, which is all part of the same sell point. So if you sell that front one off, the back one disappears as well. So just be careful there. Heading on out of there. This is actually our shop here, which is a bit random. Got a lovely building over there, and we've got a little old shack office thing just there, and that is our shop. This is your reset point. If you buy, lease anything, it's going to appear here. And then if we go across the road, we've got our animal dealer. So you're now going into this area. No sale point here for bells or anything like that. It's just purely the animal dealer, and it's only going to show the cow pasture like so. Huge area though, a couple of sheds to use. There is one of those hay sheds there as well, and if you own that plot of land you can sell that off. So that's what I'm saying about reducing your slot count. We do have one of these Elm Creek thingies, but that's been adjusted, look, to say Hillibee Creek. And then down here on the left is our carpentry. That's one of the ones you're going to need to buy the land for it to show up. And then talking of land, this is the plot of land you need to buy for that fuel tank to show up as well. So we'll go along the back. So you should see the icons somewhere. Did I buy that plot? I'm not sure I did. I think I missed that one, guys. This plot here, quite big again. I think I showed you that at the start. 146,000. If we buy that, that fuel tank now appears, and you can see the icons just in the background. So again, that's another plot. I don't think I've missed any more. Apologies if I have. I think we're good to go though. Now we're going to head round into the sawmill, which is just there on our right hand side. A huge open area. You could place down a few more things in there, I think. There is quite a few of these signs around as well, telling you which sort of place is what. There's another house there. We've got a way station, which does work. And this is our sawmill. So obviously we do already own this, so if I went into that mode, it will take us into our production menu. You can sell your wood from here. It's one of those ones where you're gonna, I'm not sure whether the trigger does activate, you know, it will go out here, so you could still pull up with a trailer, or I'm not sure if you've got to unload with a crane into here and then sell. I'm not sure how far out that trigger will activate, if I'm honest. That's where your planks will appear, and that's where your wood chips, you can buy them from. Another house there, look. And then over the back we've got that lumber sale point just there, and you can see the icon just underneath. So like I said, that's purely just a sale point. And we've got a large petrol tank that is empty, so we will need to fill it up. I'm just gonna whiz through the back of here, through the trees, because we're gonna go into our forest area where our machines are. And there's a few buildings here, decorative. It almost looks like some sort of old farms got out of hand. Cannot sell off any of those buildings as well, guys, just something to note, even though we own that plot of land. So yeah, there's some of our machinery, look, all sort of ready to go in that area. There was one thing I wanted to show you at the shop, which I forgot. It's not a huge big deal, it's just something I found that wasn't quite right. It looks a bit off, so let's just quickly go there. We'll jump back. This lamppost, look at that, what is going on there? It's almost like that's the electrical wire that would run up inside the pole, the post. So that isn't right, is it? That is the world's thinnest street light, or lamppost, whatever you call them, wherever you're from. That's just something I forgot to point out. And obviously we all know that not many maps come out and they're absolutely perfect, are they? They're all going to need updates and things like that, but I just feel that they probably should have held off until they've added the things like the traffic. This is the GCHB grain elevator anyway, so up in there is your sale point. And then across the road, so again, look, more houses across the road, and round the back we do have this train sale point. So like it says, as soon as you go under here, apparently, I've not tested it, there is lights up there as well. It's going to sell automatically. Another one of those signs, and there's the rent a train option over there. I'm going to get the train, and we're going to go up to that far corner via the train, and I think we will carry on round like that, and we'll stop roughly around here. It's on its way, look, so I will cut that, guys. And the stone quarry is round about here somewhere, so I'm hoping to just do some sort of flyover across. Hope I don't get lost, but I'll see you in a minute. We'll be on the train and we'll be heading round to that silo, which I think is just over there. So here is our ride. As normal, you'd come up to the train, jump in, start the engine, and off we go. I won't stop when we get to this railroad silo. It's pretty much the same as the one that you saw earlier, and most of you guys know what they look like and what they do. It gives you a chance to see some of the map from the train. Lots of trees about. So this is the other rent a train option that doesn't actually show on the map. So we're by field 22, look, and it's not there. So there is another one there. So I think that's 4 in total on the map. We're just going past around the back of that farm area with the greenhouse. And as you can see right next to us, we do have a track, so you can drive up along this part of the map and access this railroad silo. There is a level crossing there as well. So obviously your tip in and pipe out is going to be on the tracks here, and just round this side there, you can't quite see it, but it is there for the roadside. And there's the track there which would go across. And then we'll get a head down behind the back of our farm. A lot of horrible weeds out on this grass, some of it. So I think you would make a ton of money on this map, because the areas to buy aren't that expensive really, are they? There's quite a cool little sort of waterfall feature down this bottom part as well. There's a random field down here as well. That's 35, quite a decent size. So we are going to stop. I think we'll stop round about here actually. That silo again, just past. So we go just past it, and then I'm hoping I can just go straight down. It gets you to see some of this part. Look, nice little water feature there. And there's this area as well. Oh, there's another rent a train option. Look, that was another one I did not see. So I'm not quite sure what these areas are down here. I did buy this earlier, nothing come up. So all of these, you know, you're not getting anything. So I don't know what that is for. Storage maybe. Obviously there's a ramp there, so you could load up. If you're cutting your trees down, you can load up onto your train, which is pretty nice. I like that. Anyway, if we, there's a track over there, look, if we head this way, it literally is just a load of stones all piled up, waiting for you to do something with them. There we are. Awesome. So there you go. That is your stone quarry. And you would access that from this track, which goes all the way down here. And out to this point. And then that is part of this bit here, which you can see on the map, which you have to drive all the way up around there. And that is literally here. So that is how you would access your stone quarry. But that is it, guys. That is Hillibee Creek by Gamer Designs. Apologies if I've waffled on a bit. I do tend to sometimes, but I like to try and give you as much info as I can. If I spot anything that's a bit amiss, I will point it out. It's a review at the end of the day. I'm trying to be honest for you guys. That's my thoughts on it. Feel free to let me know how you feel about the map in the comments below. If you have enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up, because that goes a long way to supporting the channel. And if you are new to the channel and you like the content, please subscribe. That would be awesome. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos of mine. I've been Farm Sim Snowy. Stay frosty.